Conventional wisdom tells us that the times when opportunity knocks are few and far between. It also tells us to take advantage of chance when it decides to cast its dark shadow on our doorstep. Unlike most people, I'm quite unconventional. I think that some things, some situations are left better as they are. I wish everyone felt that way. It'd make my life a whole hell of a lot easier. Well, well.
You look good. Real good.
I feel good, Nicky. I stay out of the sun. The sun's a killer. And this is the good stuff.
When did all that start?
When I realized that none of us were getting any younger.
Huh.
Yeah. So I know you didn't come back after all these years just to check up on my health. What are you doing here, Nicky?
How long has it been since you've been out of the game?
Long enough to know I don't miss it.
Are you telling me you don't get the hunger from time to time? You? Come on. I've known you too long to believe that the greatest inside man of this past century has grown tired of the game that he invented.
Quit blowing smoke up my ass, Nicky. What do you want?
I know it comes as a shock that I just showed up out of the blue like this, but I've been thinking about things a lot lately. Yeah, about the old times.
Getting sentimental on me, Nicky? It's no good in our business.
So are you in?
Yeah, maybe. Change of scenery is always good for the, soul. Where you been?
I just, had to get away and think about things for a while. Did you miss me?
Yeah, whatever. Who's the mark?
His name is Nathan Wright. He's an assistant professor of literature at UCLA. He's been working on a book about popular demonology, debunking myths about werewolves, zombies, vampires, that sort of thing. I've been talking you up as a visiting scholar on the subject, one Dr. Gerald, someone I found while doing my research.
Why him?
Let's just say I'm not sure how much I admire a man whose work involves tearing down a reputation you've worked so hard to create.
You cover all the bases on this one, Nicky? You have a tendency to forget all the small details.
Don't worry, I'm on top of everything this time. I promise.
Nicholas.
Professor.
Oh, good. Dr. Grayland, it's a pleasure. Please come in.
Thank you, Professor. And forgive my hesitation. I always think it's a little rude to enter someone's home before they've invited me. Guess I'm old-fashioned that way.
Oh, I completely understand. Nicholas has described you as an old soul. I see what he means. So you're saying that these creatures are not as powerful as the myths say?
Unfortunately.
The doctor's theory actually suggests that vampires live by their wits, tricking their victims into trusting them and then striking when the victim is at their most vulnerable.
Well, that puts him one step above your basic con man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a very romantic picture, Doctor. Do they have any power?
Only over their first victim. But that's...
Those people float somewhere in limbo between death and life. The only person that can release them is the person that... the vampire that put them there.
Gentlemen, a toast. To a most enjoyable evening. One that's still full of eye-popping surprises. Nicky, I think it's time we show the professor here just exactly how much we know on the subject.
Excuse me?
Professor? Professor, it's Dana Rudolph from your Ms. Lit class.
Nicky, get rid of her. Well, don't worry, Professor. We'll take care of this.
Hi, I need to see the professor.
Yeah, he's busy right now.
Okay, well, I need to see him.
No.
He can see me for a moment. You're not the boss of him. Professor, I know that this might be a bad time, but... Oh, you have company. Well, this won't take very long. Look, I know that you usually see students only in the office, but I was just talking to one of the other TAs, and he happened to mention that you live around here, so I decided to take it upon myself to come by and see if I could get a jump on next week's assignments. And that's not a bad thing, right? I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, good for me.
This really isn't a good time, Dana.
Sure it is. Look, I have to ask you a question about yesterday's lecture. Why is it so cold in that room? I mean, that's not my question, but seriously, it's like a meat locker in there. I mean, I just put on a sweater and I'm good to go. It was really a breakthrough for me because, I mean, that's when it finally hit me. Frankenstein's monster is a Christ figure. I mean, am I right? Of course I am. It is so obvious to me now. I mean, it's like, first of all, there's his immaculate conception, creation of life from an otherworldly source. Then there's his Ow!
I weep for our educational system.
Oh my God. You're actually a...
Nicky, what the hell are you doing?
Nathan, the steak's behind you. Grab it now.
You weren't joking. I thought you both were crazy, but you're actually...
What? Grab it now! The steak! Nathan!
Nicky, I really don't think this is a good idea.
Do it! Kill him! Do it! Do it! Nathan! Do it, Nathan!
Finally. A man of his word. I thought we were a dying breed. Sloppy, Nicky, sloppy. It's the little details. I'm always having to remind you about the little details, aren't I?
How did you...
Did you ever wonder about your professor's extracurricular activities here, Nick?
I'm confused.
Oh, you're confused. Well, here's how it happened. See, the professor here, he volunteers his time at a local blood bank. And one night I'm dropping by for the usual, and I strike up a conversation with him, and he tells me about this enhanced plasma that I ought to try. Well, after that, we made an arrangement. I would supply material for him for his book, and he would keep me on the straight and narrow with my new diet. And everything was working wonderfully until one day he tells me about his new research assistant who promises him he can introduce him to a real vampire. You playing a trick on me, Nicky? You know how I hate little tricks. I don't like little tricks at all.
You're free, Nicholas Renfield.
Excuse me?
All he wanted was to be free. You set him free.
Huh. Well, I guess the joke's on me then, huh?
So what happens now?
Well, now I need a new assistant. You game?
I don't think I know what you mean.
Oh, I think you do. See, you're going to take Nicky's place here. There's a certain kind of symmetry about it, don't you think?
I guess I don't have a choice, do I?
Hey, you're quick. I like that. Relax, Professor. Just think of it as your first day of class. And you got a lot to learn.